How many blashies would you give that chap before you're like, you're taking the piss?
Welcome to episode 110. I just thought I would play it.
No, I like that.
I like the thing someone put the podcast on. I'm like, what is happening here? If he's going by the rule of 8 sneezes is an orgasm, the trunk's be wrapped.
Is there not like something right enough though of like people that have prolonged episodes of sneezing? Like they just can't stop and it goes on for like half an hour?
I don't believe it.
Nah, you think they're faking it?
I think they're spoofing.
Just looking at attention?
Yeah.
Handier ways to get attention. Just a sneezing fit.
What am I like? I don't like when people have a completely fake sneeze noise.
Yeah.
Where they go like especially girls.
I still don't know how to handle a sneeze, you know, because I used to always just,
you
know, clench the nose. And then my dad used to tell me, stop doing that, your eyes will pop out of your head. So then it scared me into just allowing it.
Letting it rip, yeah.
But the problem is that you can never telegraph a sneeze because some will be just a kind of, you know, like a Febreze spritz.
Yeah.
And then some's just an absolute snot rocket. It just comes out of you.
I know, Maureen would give out to me like, stop holding, because I'd be like, and try and hold it in. And then she's like, just sneeze. And I'm like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that. And then I'll be driving the car and just sneeze out of nowhere and have to wipe the inside of the window.
Big Luger.
And she's like, Jesus Christ, did you not cover that up? And I'm like, this is what I'm saying. But I have a new technique, just down the t-shirt.
That's good.
Just be like,
that's a sneaky one now.
Spray and pray.
Yeah.
Wreck the place.
You don't have to think about that with any other bodily functions. Well, actually, that's a lie. If you fart, it could be.
Yeah, solid.
Are we surprised? Yeah.
Are we surprised? Oh, Jesus, I'm surprised my pants. Anyway, did that get you absolutely pumped, that Chris Eubank video?
I thought you were about the sneezing clip. Yeah,
I
was very cool.
I couldn't get enough of that the whole weekend because you didn't watch it, Niall? No, you didn't see it all.
Just to be bits.
Just bits and pieces. Like, obviously, Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn had their rivalry back in the day. They then have 2 sons who grow up and have boxing careers and hate each other. And then they fight at fucking wherever Tottenham Hotspur play in a giant fight.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah, I seen him giving the pre-fight promo.
Did you see that? Did you see this? Like, so there was like I don't know whether it was fake or not, but apparently Chris Eubank and Junior and Senior had fallen out, and he's like, you know, talk about pain. I just want my father here. He kind of talks the same too. My father is absent, and then on the night, watch this. He gets out of the fucking.
Okay, some more arrivals.
Gets out of the lift like a gangster. He says.
Waiting when we're all filming a closed door. Oh wow!
Look at this guy.
Wow! And you hear the reaction on the big screen, and I was not expecting this.
Unbelievable.
Not expecting this.
And he loves it too. He's like,
Unreal.
it's like, my son is fighting, but it's clearly all about me. Like his son will be trying to look all hard at away in, and he'd be standing beside him like dancing.
There's something scary about a scary guy that has a soft voice. You know, like a dangerous man with that kind of like, you know?
Yeah.
Like Tyson was kind of the same. You know, he had the lisp and all, but
he had
dangerous man.
There's a lot of boxers with like speech impediments.
Yeah.
You know, even Nigel Benn, he's like, my son, you know, everyone's lisping and fucking stuttering all over the place.
Well, you know, you get knocked in the head over a couple of years.
Or, you know, do you get made fun of because your voice is funny, and then you're like, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of every one of these guys.
Yeah.
But Chris Eubank's the opposite way, where he's just, you know, talks like an old lady, you know, talks like a fucking, the queen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will come at you with pugilistic rage. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Are we fighting or what?
What was that one? He had one, I think it was just before the fight or something, Senior. And he was talking into the camera, and what did he say? He said something like,
Rastafari, like he launched into the Jamaican, and then he was like, sorry, that's my mother tongue. Me never let a man beat me. No, he fucking turned into like Vibes Cartel for 2 seconds.
It's such a funny switch to go from that soft spoken, like, would you like a sweetie?
Yeah. Would you like a sweetie? Take the fucking sweetie, bastard!
Grab around today.
Me no eat the pum pum. Sorry, I got a bit carried away.
My mother's tongue's so funny.
Yeah.
Just think about it. I went, Jesus Christ, the fucking day of the day. I was like, sorry, that's my elbow's tongue. Took over me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fantastic. We haven't spoke since we got back from America. That's you back off the plane now.
A couple of FaceTimes and all, but
Straight back down to earth, by the way.
straight back down there.
Translink troubles.
Oh yeah, the cooler's fucked.
You go from living at a Sex in the City to fucking rage on the Translink.
They're doing their best.
They're doing their better. Fucking.
God love.
Jeez, I let loose at someone on the fucking at the Work in Progress the other night. I don't know how I got talking about it. It was said about the Belfast International, and then there's like, does anyone work there, by the way? And two people went, you, and then I just fucking, oh god, it was like a therapy session.
You just let it out.
I was like, man, oh, they've done it up and all, they've got new security, and then still just one incel working there.
Yeah.
Take your laptop out of the bag. Hopefully it doesn't make it online.
Shout out to Pat. That was on the bus beside me today. And I was saying to you, it's like there's nothing more calming and validating than just an old boy who, the way he communicates is he just says everything that you say back to you. You know? So I just be sitting with him today, Niall, and he was like, he was saying to me about the weather. You know, I can hang with the old boys in terms of the speech. You know, I know what to say to them. I know what gets them going. And I goes, Jesus, weather like this, you know, there's nowhere else you'd rather be. And he just goes, nowhere else you'd rather be. And then he was chatting about Dublin. And I was like, you know, Dublin's great, but Jesus got Tara expensive. And he goes, Tara expensive.
And there's people charge money for that.
Yeah.
You know, like therapists.
Yeah. Oh, Pat was as good as any therapy. I'm away for a shade here, Pat. Away for a shade.
Couldn't beat it. It's like a drum with no sides. Couldn't beat it. That's all. Anyone that I know who's went to therapy is just like, they hit a point where they're like, hey, I'm just telling this things, and they're just going, mm-hmm.
I've had one therapist and had to drop him.
Because it was just like, you keep talking and talking and talking.
Well, because it was like 4 sessions in, and I just kept like saying like stuff, like basically about like, because you're given like an executive summary of your life essentially, so they can like pick holes in it. And then there was the 4th session, I was like, I've said everything I could possibly say. Can you please tell me how to fix this?
Yeah.
And I just stopped speaking, and he was like,
yeah.
And then I went, I genuinely don't know what else to say. And he just went, something will come up. Yeah. That was it.
You turn into Tony Soprano with the fucking therapist?
Useless.
What the fuck am I going to say anymore? Fucking, you know. Yeah, you're expecting, you go like, I've done 4 episodes of this therapy now.
Yeah.
Let's have some answers.
Yeah.
You know, I'll come back next. You work on it. I'll come in next week. You got some answers for me.
I'll give you 4 hours worth of stuff here.
4 hours of material. Comb through it.
Yeah.
Give me some answers.
Yeah.
But then I would get judgy with them. I'd be like, what do you do? What do you do when you clock off here?
Yeah. Oh, you said the second you seen a ton of Fanta, you were like, I'm away.
Oh yeah, the one time I actually went. The guy bought the tin of Fanta on the way up to the session out of a vending machine too. I had to wait for him to do that. Thumbing the pounds in to get the Fanta out, for fuck's sake. Like, you couldn't sit for an hour without a Fanta, you fucking ape. Sorry, that was my mother's tongue. You bastard.
That is true. Like, I've only had one. Like, I will try again. Like, but apparently it is like, it's borderline like dating. You know, you gotta like weed through a lot of shit before you get to someone who actually gets you.
Yeah, I think maybe what you need is a mentor. That's more what people are. But then that's a
spoofer's game too, though.
Snake oil as well.
Yeah,
you know.
That's what the problem is. A lot of it is just snake oil.
I feel like all you can do is mentor someone to be like you. If you're already, you know, if you were like already reasonably successful at a thing, the only thing you can mentor them in is doing that.
Well, that's the thing. Is like every human being is flawed. So at the end of the day, a therapist or whatever is just going to be telling you how to live life through their lens.
Yeah.
But sure, what's to say their lens isn't any fucking good either?
Yeah, your lens is a fucking scrapper.
Yeah.
Sure, that's exactly like Sopranos. You're necking fucking shots of vodka in between sessions and all.
Yeah.
Fantastic acting there, by the way. I'm still plowing through the Sopranos.
So good.
She takes a wee shot and then she's talking to Tony and she seems a tiny bit drunk, and I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant acting there.
It's not too far off my ma.
Just acting a wee bit.
Well, you know, she fires enough glands in there before a family dinner.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there is a wee bit of slurred speech.
Yeah. Just too many invasive questions.
Stick on the radio there.
I said, hey, is the marriage? Puts her legs up and so.
I think she would have been a fantastic mob boss's wife, actually.
Mob wife?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you know, that's more or less what you was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah.
Your dad rolled about in silk shirts and necklaces and all. You know?
I will go full PO at some stage. I think the stride I really hit will probably be about my 40s.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do the fucking, because I seen Spencer wearing like, you know, like one of them shirts that my dad would have worn, like the real colourful, like kind of sleek.
Yeah.
And then underneath had a white tank top and a chain, and I was like, that's literally PO's back.
Yeah.
And he's wearing it like on a nice dinner.
Give him 2 fish suppers and you fucking the double of them.
Well, the famous story about my dad with the fish suppers was one time him and another fella were coming back from something, and they were in the van, and the boy actually called up my ma because his standard trick was he would go away and he would have a feed, and he'd go back and never let on to mum that he had anything. Then she'd make a full dinner.
Yeah.
And then they were coming back from the gig, stopped in at Joe's fish and chips, and he rang up my ma and was like, Rebecca, don't you give that bastard anything when he gets home, for he's only after eating 4 fish suppers.
The amount of grease got on there is shocking. You need to fucking scrape it off your face like a baby.
Yeah, comes back, the tank top's yellow.
Tucks into the dinner, no sweat. Well, you've inherited that anyway.
Oh, what?
You've had a feed? No, I'm starving. You 19 kilos is deep. Still put away a fucking roast dinner.
Yeah, it's still the same thing, but just very different sort of cuisines.
Yeah.
You know? Never a fish and chip, but no bother.
Yeah, if I squealed and you do your man, like, that had fucking ramen, you'd be like, I'll have 2 bowls of ramen next time.
I'll say nothing.
We've had a severe lack of Asian snacks recently.
This last while,
Haven't we?
well, I remember there was one day you said to me, we parked up outside Lavery's to get something to eat beforehand, and you go, I never thought I'd say this. I think I'm coming to the end of my teller with Asians.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The
well,
food.
Yeah.
Not the people.
But yeah, well, to be fair, we ran amok there for a while. Like,
Yeah, we ran it into the floor.
you know, everywhere we went, we were looking up just Asian near me.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to a point where you're just like, just get me a goddamn sandwich around here.
Yeah. But then you've ran the end of that too.
I've run the end of that. That's what I mean. Like the New York trip, I did say this on the podcast with McCartney. See that diner life? I'm all about it.
It's unbelievable.
You know, you can't go out all the fucking time and eat fucking kebabs and all this shit.
Nah.
You can't do it all the time. Sometimes you need to be pished and go and have a soup and a sandwich, which is fantastic. At 4 a.m, we load Indian boys in the corner going nuts.
Yeah.
Sneezing. That's what you need.
Well, just even going there and having like bit of eggs, whatever, and then just a black coffee.
Yeah.
I can't stop
You're
roughing.
going to be sick.
Yeah.
No, I then got a wee, like a chicken sandwich and then a wee bowl of chips to share and a wee mozzarella dipper.
Very homely.
Hammered too. Like, put it in your mouth. Like,
No judgment at a diner, you know, such a mix of clientele.
Yeah,
People
it's
coming
great.
in, just, you know, a trucker.
and people,
mixed with
people
that were
behave
pissed.
themselves. Like, people sort of
Oh,
go
yeah.
like, you know, there's like a couple look like they're at the end of a date, you know, group of 4 lads, whatever. It's very, and everyone just keeps themselves to themselves.
No, the only thing I've ever seen in a diner, you know, is maybe a bit too much PDA sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But sure, how are you going to stop love?
Yeah, can't stop love.
You know?
You're full of chicken sandwiches. What did I see that video of the girl getting finger blasted?
On Instagram?
Yeah, it was like a, you know, like a pool party. You know, like one of them Ibiza type setups, and then someone just zoomed in from a balcony, and this guy, it looked like these two were just hugging, and the guy just going, nah.
Oh, God.
God.
One of the worst. Like, that's probably, that would be my biggest fear for any sort of, like, you know, if it's getting hot and heavy.
Somebody finger you?
Well, no, if you're in public,
Yeah.
you know, it's getting hot and heavy, and you're just like, I just can't hold back this horn.
Yeah.
And then someone videos you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have that.
Oh, God.
That's you done for life.
Yeah.
You never come back from a video of you fingering.
Unless you're putting on a real performance, and people are like,
Well, I think it's like dancing. In your head, you're probably like, I'm killing it. And then if you see an outside perspective of it, you're like, Jesus.
yeah, it's like drunk karaoke.
Should be that out of the house.
You're like, I could be in Creed
yeah.
instead of inside this bitch.
I went to the same magic show this month. I was steaming drunk.
You don't know what to be at.
I know. I love it.
You don't know what to be at.
What do you mean?
If you're not getting pulled off in a bathhouse, you're getting...
Man, we're only here for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
You got to see everything.
yeah.
You know? You got to see everything
Yeah.
before you're on the other side of the dirt. I went with Well, it was actually Liam was going to like suss out a room
Okay.
for like a special bog show, and it was like this real bougie. It was called the Silver Lining Lounge, but it was like real bougie kind of clientele, real bougie look about it. But the girl who was running the show wanted him to come down to see the room.
Yeah.
But on top of that, she was like, if you and your friends want to come down and see the magic show. So he wrote to me and he was like, do you want to go see magic show? I was like, fuck yeah, bro. So landed down, had a few drinks, watched the show, went up to the bar to grab a drink, couple beside us. We're sitting chatting to them for a bit. And the girl, apparently her full-time job is like working with a company that hires magicians for like certain events and like whatever.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, this guy here, like other magicians like study him.
There's a sitcom waiting to happen. The clown or the magician agent.
Yeah. And they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, tell you what, a few pints and you watch the magic show. Unbelievable.
That's all it takes to baffle you. You two pints, you're like, oh my God.
I said all I want to see is a dove.
Yeah.
He went dove overkill off top. There's about 12 doves.
Jesus Christ.
Flying about the place. Just appeared out of nowhere. Just everything he pulled out was a dove. It was fucking mental.
Pick a dove, any dove.
Then he did this thing, and it was like, he got a couple on stage, and they were like sitting apart, and he was like, okay, put your hand up if you feel kind of my finger on you.
No.
Right? So then he like put his finger on the fella's shoulder, and the doll raised her hand too. Now the naysayers would be saying, well, he probably knows that couple. Then he did another trick where he did like this card trick, brought the girl on stage. By the way, anytime a magician fucks up, they know rightly. It's part of the show.
Oh yeah.
There's never like an actual fuck up, you know?
There's a bit of deception in it.
So he's like, oh, is this your card? And she's like, no, I'm really sorry. And then he went, oh God. And then he's like,
How was he acting in that?
oh, terrible. Oh, by the way, very fuckboy energy from the magician. The magician came out wearing the current tour Usher merchandise. Okay. Oversized, big biceps. Every time he did a trick, he would do a wee dance stall, which made me so soft.
Yeah.
And at the very end of each trick, he would go like this here. Biceps out. You know what I mean?
Illuminati.
Knows where he's at. So got the card wrong. Then he goes, this is like 21st century magician shit. He goes, well, if you all look at my Instagram story, plug. He goes, you'll see I uploaded a story half an hour ago. And he's like front facing camera saying the name of the doll on stage and the actual card she picked. And I was like, man. But the most fucked up trick, right? Now explain this to me. Explain this. He had 6 vinyls, right? All like hip hop vinyls. And he asked the girl to pick a vinyl, right? Picks the vinyl, and then she shows it to the audience. And it's, if you're reading this, it's too late by... Or sorry, it's Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Okay. Right? puts it back in the pile, and then he's going through the vinyls, whatever, and then he picks a vinyl and he goes, he's like writing down, drawing it on a piece of paper, and he goes, is this your vinyl? And it was Drake's If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Uh-huh. And she goes, no, it's not the vinyl. And he goes, oh. Oh no. And then he's like, oh, actually, what's happened here is I've drawn the case, but the vinyls are in this case. And then he goes, Doggy Style. He's like, hang on, let me pull that one out. And he like does this here against the paper. And then a fucking drawing of Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style comes out of the thing. Explain that. Give the paper back to her and all. She's shaking it, rubbing it down. On.
I can't explain that.
It's magic.
It's magic, yeah. Yeah, he's a real wizard.
I couldn't believe it. It was actually borderline satanic.
This is a plain piece of paper with, then the image appears on it.
Yeah.
Like slowly, like fading.
Like slowly comes out of this box that he's drawn. I know. And then I was like enough pounds deeper. I was like,
so he's drawn a box on a page and then the drawing comes out in the middle of it.
Out of the drawing that he's just drawn.
Like just slowly, you see it in real time, like just slowly fades in.
He's the paper and he's going like this here.
Yeah.
And Doggy Style pops out.
What do you mean pops out?
Like it slowly reveals out of this box that he's just drawn her vinyl, which is Doggy Style.
Full size vinyl.
No, like a drawing of it.
Right.
I was like, I can't leave until I find out how that bastard did that.
I'm still trying to figure this out. He draws a box on a page.
Right. Big piece of paper.
Yes.
Right? He's like asking all these questions and all, letting on like he's drawn whatever. He draws, if you're reading this, it's too late, but he draws it in like a sort of like cube. And his whole thing is he goes, oh no, this is just the box that the vinyls are in. And he's like, doggy style, 1 second, I think I have that right here. And then he presses his fingers up against the drawn that he's just drawn. And then out of that drawn appears doggy style.
Okay.
It's magic.
Okay. Well, it's obviously some sort of rigged paper.
How do you rig paper?
Well, you can fucking rig it. It's magic. It's trickery.
No, I'm saying it's magic. You're saying it's rigged.
It's trickery.
But like, how do you rig paper? It's too thin. How do you put anything into it or do anything to it?
But all that fucking, oh Jesus, I don't know what I'm at. No. Anything could be happening behind him.
He did go full out dust back when he did that.
You could set it down and go, oh, I fucked it up, walk back, just pick up a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, 2 bits of paper together with a picture in it.
Yeah. Now, obviously,
I thought you meant he's just holding a page and it just, turns into the thing.
No.
Oh, well, sure.
It comes out of the box.
That's how they do all the tricks.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, pick a card. Like, have you ever heard of forcing cards?
No.
You go like, oh, I've got 52 cards here, pick a card, and you just the way that you fucking do it and then slow it down, like you take the closest, most exposed one.
Yeah.
He knows rightly what it is.
Yeah.
Same as that.
Jesus, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was saying.
Shout out to the Instagram plug in the middle of it though.
Oh yeah.
That's sneaky.
And then there was a table of black ladies.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was watching them most of the time.
Yeah.
They were.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were going nuts. When he did that thing with the paper, one just kind of leaned back and just started going like this here. She was convulsing. I was waiting for a handkerchief to come out.
Yeah, that magic show's pretty mad. Like,
I don't know if crack.
I've had 2 magic experiences in my life. One of them was at the Valley Leisure Centre during a summer scheme, and the guy came out and he was doing tricks, and then he took a. I told you this. I think I've told this in the podcast before. He took a brick out of his bag and fucked it at this woman who's breastfeeding, and it was a foam. It was a foam brick. Oh. But man, talk about silence in a room. He took it out and just threw it. And it was like, ah! And then it just boinged across the floor.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable. And then the other one was a different event, something to do with Maureen's family's business or something in England. And the guy was doing close-up magic. And then they'd obviously said to him, like, do you want a bit of dinner? And then he had a sad little magician's dinner in the corner on a table by himself. You never think about that.
Magician dinner?
You never think about the magician being starving.
Oh yeah.
You know? He's like, oh, I'll give all my lunch to these doves. Fucking starving.
So the doves was mental. Then he made a parrot appear. It was fucking
like Ace Ventura.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Birds hanging out of him.
Must be wild admin.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We fuck all to worry about. You know, we land up, everything's set up.
You might turn up one day and be like, oh Jesus, I forgot my notebook or something.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker's like, I have a dead.
Fucking 4 doves down.
I have a yeah.
Good band name.
I had to run in somewhere. It took ages and to come out. All the doves were cooked in the car. I wonder is his like wheelie bin just full of fucking dead doves and ripped up cards.
But do you think he's using his powers for evil? Like, do you think most magicians?
Hey, he doesn't have powers.
Nah, but like, you know, his magical powers. Do you think like most magicians? I'm sure use that stuff as like pickup lines.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of powers of suggestion go into magic. Mm-hmm. You know, like distracting people and throwing people off, and you could probably use that a bit in real life.
Yeah. He was very good now.
Oh my God, what's that over there? And then you just take a piss at a bar. You know, things like that.
He's very good. I always think about, you know, I was watching him whenever I was a teenager, but you remember Chris Angel's Mad Stunts?
Oh yeah.
But it was all like video editing. But at the time you're watching it, you're like, that man's actually levitating across buildings.
Yeah. He put a knife through his hand.
Get him killed.
And then David Blaine, I don't even know if that is magic anymore.
What do you mean?
He's just like, I'm actually just going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump off this building in the cardboard boxes. Magic. And you're like, nothing magic about that.
Yeah. I think you've a death wish.
I think you're a lunatic. You goddamn fucking lunatic. Did you tell a story on here about going to the second bathhouse? Did Aaron tell that story?
Nope.
Tell that story to me.
The bougie bathhouse?
Aye, the boner bathhouse.
Well,
you've a new addiction now.
Yes, bathhouses.
Just turning up, getting rubbed down.
Well, listen, the Russian bathhouse, it was the same price, full of characters, great crack, would highly recommend. I did find one in Manhattan that was in Flatiron, and I looked at it and I was like, this is very, like, it looks like a nightclub.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very horny, purple lights all around the place and all, and
Tug Job Central.
You know, so I was like, I'll call down here for, you know, the day, you know. So I bought a day pass, it was $60. And then on top of that, then you could add like a masseuse. So I was like, fuck it, you know, I'll get a massage, whatever. But you shouldn't feel this way, but you do. When you're on the website, it asks you point blank, would you prefer a male or a female masseuse? And obviously, female, right? But when you're clicking that option, you're like, you feel like a rapist, you know? You're like, oh God, does this look bad or whatever? And then you're like, nah, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Depends what sort of massage you wanted. If you wanted like a really good massage, I'd go man.
Well, I was just looking to relax.
Get them big hands on your cheeks.
But that's what I was thinking. I was like, big old callous hands and fucking work on the shoulder and all. I was like, I'm not, you know, I'm just going to relax.
And you land there going,
yeah.
okay.
So then I get down there and the girl at reception, she's like, you know, she's like checking me in, whatever. And she goes, and Mr. McCann, you went for a female massage therapist. And I was like,
what you say like that for?
I know. I was like, I did.
Female? Okay. Did you go like that? Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Go into the bathhouse, do a few wee laps. I've got about an hour until I have to go see this woman, right? So, you know, I go into the ice plunge. I go into the heated pools.
You in there with the trunks pulled up above the belly button?
Oh, man. And these were like, you know, these are bargain bucket shorts of on me too.
Yeah,
like the web swimming trunks, you know.
Okay.
So I'm walking about there, having a good time, taking everything in, going to the steam room, you know. Not as much banter out of the steam room clientele in a place like this in comparison to Doma Leisure Centre.
Oh, I bet.
No characters, no chat.
Probably not the same look about them either.
I'll be honest with you, I was the only person in there that wasn't at least an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Very sexy people. The sexiest people I've ever seen in my life.
So you're the biggest munter,
Men and women.
munter in there?
By far.
Man.
I'm winning the biggest Munt award. I'm getting first place in show.
King Munt.
King Munt. And anyway, it comes down to massage time. I go up. Girl comes out. Lovely woman. Lovely woman. And, you know, obviously I have a bit of PTSD from the last time I went to get a massage. So I was cautious.
You said this is a hot lady though?
Yes.
This new one?
Beautiful woman, very civil, very sound. And, you know, she walks down these rooms. And the first thing that happened was she was like, right, we'll try room 12 here, right? And she opens the door and this fella like kind of shuts himself.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Closes the door. So this is a fella that obviously had just had a massage done. Maybe he was laying there. I don't know what kind of, if it was decent or not, you know? So then she's like, okay, give me 2 seconds. I'll find another room. So I'm like, right, I'm just going to go for a push. Go for a push, come back. I don't want to be fully, you know,
emptied.
pishless for the massage.
Pishless, fartless.
So then I get into the room and she goes, okay, so, you know, just take your swimming shorts off and get underneath the sort of like little thin linen they had. She's like, just get underneath that. And I was like, oh, I'll just go and grab boxers here real quick. And she goes, no, you don't need to do that. And I was like, excuse me? And she goes, just take your swimming trunks off and just get underneath the linen. And I was like, and like, I have to do that?
And it smells.
And she goes, well, yeah, you do, because, you know, to give you the best massage I can, it's easier if you're not wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay. So then she leaves. I pop the swimming trunks off, get underneath this linen. And by the way, never a creakier table.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God, the creaks.
Yeah.
So I'm positioning
Narrow
myself.
as well. Like
narrow, like I've never felt fatter.
Yeah, every bed I've got on, I'm like hanging off both sides.
Yeah. Felt like a big old rotisserie pig. So I lie down in it anyway. And I get the linen over the top of me.
That's the name of the podcast then.
And then she kind of, I can hear her from the door. She's like, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And she comes in and I have my big fat face and that thing they have at the top, just squeezing it in.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the face.
It's like a bucket of Play-Doh in there. And I squeeze
It's like
it
a peephole to
through.
you. Just one eye in.
Squeeze it through. She comes in. Immediately sets me at ease as woman. You know, great conversationalist, you know. And then we just get quiet. And I'm fully taking in the massage. I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted in Dublin. This is what I'm getting now. Full of knots, she told me. Full of knots.
Not central.
Oh my God. So then she's like rubbing out these knots. I can feel the knots coming out of me as she's doing it. And, you know, magic hands. And so she's doing the massage anyway and chatting away. And then she goes, okay, could you turn over now onto your back?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Jeez, right, okay, no problem at all." But she's in the room for this part. So, you know, at the start I was just getting on the table, but not having her looking over me.
Yeah.
So I felt no shame or embarrassment about the current Nickerman. But me transitioning from belly down to back down, awkward to watch.
Yeah.
So I just shimmy over.
Creaking and...
Oh, the creak city.
Oh.
Laying me back finally. She's massaging me.
Yeah.
Goes right up. Like right up.
Yeah.
The leg. And I'm like,
brave woman.
Perfectly normal, perfectly grand. This is part of the procedure. And we're chatting away. The second that she stops talking and I stop talking and there's silence, I can feel the blood rush to my root. And I'm like, I cannot pop one here. This is absolutely disgusting. This is this woman's job. I'm the pervert. I need to stop this immediately. And I noticed as I started talking to her and she started talking back, the root died. Right? So I was just like, I just have to keep talking to this woman here so I won't pop one, you know? But I'm asking her the dumbest questions you've ever thought of in your life, you know? Because all I want is to distract myself from getting hard. So like she's massaging me and I'm like, what's it like being a black woman in America?
Just the fucking, just the slow like bounce of the boner just coming up like and then you're like, what's your favorite flavor of crisps? And then it's just back down again.
It turns out, you know, yeah, I guess I'm a misogynist because a silent woman just turns me on for some reason, you know.
Misogynist. That's so fucking. Just you, and you're fantastic at the dumb questions too.
Oh, this was rapid speed, you know.
Oh my god, what's your favorite Rocky movie? Silence. Back up.
But great woman.
Yeah, she probably sees boners all day.
Well, that's what I was talking to Tim afterwards, and he was like, "It is perfectly normal, you know."
The road up.
The road up.
Yeah, they probably get offended if you don't.
But it's also very like. It feels more intimate than like a lap dance would, you know? Because at the very start, she was like up around the shoulders and she's rubbing the shoulders and she goes, okay, I just want you to breathe in real slow and then breathe out. So she was up at my shoulders, right? And she goes, breathe in. And I'd be like, and she'd go, okay, breathe out. And then she would, along with me, go, and I'm like, man, this is too horny.
Yeah.
This is too horny.
Yeah, it's like
tone down the horniness.
Yeah, it's because it's so up close and quiet. You
Silence.
Know, at least if you're getting a lap dance, you probably a few drinks in you.
Yeah,
you know,
T-Pain's playing in the background.
Smelly crack in your face. You know what I mean? It's a bit of, you know.
This was like sounds of the ocean and moaning.
Yeah,
you know,
whale noise.
Yeah, me.
From you.
But I love the bathhouse. Can't get enough of it.
Did she not say someone did fucking leave a live one?
That's right. So again, the distracting questions. I'm like, so what's the craziest thing you ever seen? I'm doing crowd work at this stage. Like,
you text yourself and down like a fucking.
I'm like, so have you ever seen anything like mental in here, whatever? And she's like, well, there's been a few, yeah. And I was like, what would be an example? And I was like, well, one time, so at the end of the massage, she leaves.
Yeah.
But she stands outside the door because she has to change the linen and all this here. She said that one time she finished the massage with a fella and she left the room, and she gives you as long as you need to gather yourself and find your bearings again before you enter the real world again. And this fella was taking a minute and she was like, that's okay, whatever. And then he eventually walked out and seen her stand there and was like, thank you very much, and then just like walked away.
Yeah.
And she went into the massage room to change the linen. He'd fired a live one under the sheets. Isn't that wild?
I mean, at least take yourself to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
You know, don't just be like, thank you so much.
But then the dirty bastard probably go back into the pool or something.
Jizzy dick?
Yeah. Oh. Jizzy dick. So rotten.
Because he might have just been sitting there fucking bricked the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll give you a minute. And he's like, that's all I'll need.
Yeah. Yeah.
More whale noises.
Jizzy dick in the pool is so disgusting to think about.
God, and the mesh shorts there.
Just like a couple of threads of jizz. Just
oh god, threads of jizz. Oh my god, that is fucking rank.
But yeah, man, nothing will reset you as a human like the bathhouse. Fucking feels great.
Just that quiet boner by yourself. That's like a sketch. You talking away, and then just fucking. Also, you think they put over like like a heavy kind of hot towel or something? Not a linen.
Man,
not
this was so thin.
A linen sheet is like that's like something you would fucking send a dick pic to somebody. Like look at the big fucking tent I'm pitching.
Well, it's like, in a hotel, the way they've got like the one-way piece of linen, it was like that there.
Yeah.
So if I was even quarter turd, she'd have seen it. Yeah. So I had to act fast with these questions. I had to. And I felt so guilty afterwards too. I was like, man, I'm a fucking pig. Like, this woman's just doing her job. And I talked to Tim after, and he's like, nah, man, it's totally normal.
Nah, go in there and friggin' get a boner, bro. That's all he does, probably. Just go in there.
But then I told her about the Asian massage story.
Oh, you told her that?
I told her the whole story. I was like, sorry, if I was a bit odd about taking the shorts off. It's just the last time I went for a massage. I kind of got a bit duped. And I told her the story about the Asian massage place. And then at the very end, she was like, oh, well, hopefully we've relieved your PTSD and all.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, well, actually, I'm fuming, to be fair. I'm fuming. Now I'm walking around with a full hard dick. A Jesse dick in the pool here.
No. So rotten to think about.
Guys, since you're sitting there scratching your bulbs, why don't you get on over to patreon.com/the Bomb Squad pod, where you can just open a fucking world of bonus podcasts.
Tons of bonus content.
Tons of bonus podcasts. We got the answering all your questions, with the different tiers, headliners, open spots, all that good stuff. Got the New York tapes here with the young Aaron McCann speaking to American guests, comedians, and Mia McCartney's monthly Bog Squad episode. You're gonna love it. What else would you be at?
Fuck all.
Fuck all. You getting emotional about it, so definitely get on over there. Patreon.com/Bomb Squad pod. Thank you. Did we review our little trip to New York or your gig and all? That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, the bog.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Keep your eye for that in New York if you're over there. Get to the bog.
Fun time.
We have to cover up the IRA artwork with a projector screen. Get yourself a wee sign, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a curtain.
I was pissed.
When
I did it, because it was raining in New York and we're walking about the streets and thinking like, oh, maybe twice this happened. You're like, oh, let's go get a bit of a bite to eat. Never happened. Straight in the pub. Pissed.
Whiskey Tavern, one of the best bars ever existed.
And I felt like there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. Like I couldn't have went like, oh no, I'll stay off the drink till I do this gig. I was just like, white water, it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm tumbling down this river here.
Yeah.
And they're dishing out free shots and all. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Turned up at your gig, out of my mind, watching UFC. He made fun of me in the car. He's like, I
did not make fun of you.
He embarrassed me.
So sensitive.
I was watching UFC by myself, and you walked up. And
He
you were
was
like,
like,
what are
so
you doing? You fucking weirdo.
No, I did not say that. And everyone's like sort of in their wee groups and all mingling, whatever. And then I look over and like man's just sitting there just watching the UFC in the projector. Happiest I've seen him in years, right? And I walked over. I was just like, are you having a good time, Paddle? And then he goes, oh, this is great. Just because he was watching UFC. If anything, I probably ruined the moment for you.
I know. That's why I said, I was like, fuck off, will you? Of the one time I could watch this at the time it's on.
Yeah.
Not like 6 a.m. or the next day.
Yeah. Swear to God, talk about pig and shag time. It was unbelievable.
I was absolutely thriving.
No, it is. It's a fun gig. The bar staff, shout out to Joe that owns both them bars. He's very behind it. Give us a sellout bonus. He's like, congratulations on another sellout, boys. There's a $150 bar tab behind the bar.
I gotta say, I don't know if I paid for anything that night.
Yep.
I think one time I went to pay with my phone, and the guy took it as if I'd opened the fucking card with my face, and then he took it, and then I think it locked on him, and he just gave me it back and gave me the drinks.
Well, I was laughing because I went up to the bar at the end and went to pay, and it was right away amount, and then I was like, oh, I think we've that $150 bar tab, and the guy was like, oh, you ran through that within the first 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, in America, 4 pints. $150.
Yeah.
Proper Irish bar though, get the pepper sauce out the back and all.
Brilliant.
Seen that.
Brilliant.
Class times.
Yeah. No, it's great. Well, I feel like you boys had a much better trip this time because we didn't have to worry about podcasts and all. Like, we were just there for fun and leisure.
No pods, just fucking sandwiches.
With 1 gig wedged in the middle of her.
I know. Then we kept running into people like in that, what do you call it, the Spring Lounge or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to that guy, listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
He just like, I just walked in here and seen you. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. He was living in New York a couple of weeks. He knew.
There
He
you
was
go.
saying.
Big influencer, man. That's what you are.
John Mayer's favourite place?
Big John. Big John Mayer.
Big John loves it. Don't want to air him out like that, but yeah. If you're going to say a hint of the mayor.
Did I send you that video of the guy doing an impression of John Mayer? He just had like 4 watches on and he was just like playing all these notes on the guitar with a pure cum face. He was like,
Some boys love John Mayer. Like,
I know, I don't get it.
like
at all.
obsessed with John Mayer.
Like Mihal does sound in Lavery's.
Yeah.
Hands down the best guitar player alive. I was like, how many have you heard? 1? Do
Yeah, he loves the mayor.
you like John Mayer?
Yeah, I do. Where the Light is one of my favourite albums.
Oh?
It's his live album in LA. Oh my god. 10 out of
Silky?
10.
Silky and sexy?
Oh yeah.
I saw him give Chappelle mushrooms
Oh yeah?
at the Comedy Store one time, yeah. And man, he looked like, you know the way you're like, man, you're a notable figure.
Aye.
Fucking cleaned up. Boy,
I scream it together.
you know what I mean? He had the shirt unbuttoned about 6 buttons down, just shades half on.
Yeah.
Real rock star, like, you know. Big mayor. And
Big nightmare.
and then Chappelle was on stage and he was like flashing this bag of fucking mushrooms at him, and Chappelle went over and took a look, and then he was out of his mind too.
Oh, Jesus. Kicked in like that. But that's the thing, you're fucking multi-millionaire in LA. It's hot out now, you just walk out dressed like shit.
Yeah.
Bieber spec. See,
Yeah, people are very
recently?
concerned.
What?
Did I recently? I was about to say people are very concerned for El Justin.
Aye.
What is it that happened to him? Did he go for a breakup or something? Or
Well, he
what?
just looks like an absolute heap.
Yeah.
He looks like he'd probably get to about 50 and look back and be like, I probably should have kept myself together a bit.
I know, man.
Had
A
a
child
shit-
star, you couldn't even comprehend
I
it.
had a shave and fucking looked the part.
Yeah.
I don't know, he looks like a fucking drug addict, like.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking showing up places, dancing weird and whatever. You do the same yourself.
But if you have that amount, like, it's an incomprehensible amount of money, you know, and you probably do just get like very quickly, especially if you make it that age. There is an old thing people say where it's like, if someone becomes really famous as a child star, that is the emotional age they stop growing at,
Oh.
you know? So it's like, because they're just immediately afforded like anything they want in the world is
Yeah.
possible from that point on in their life. Of course you're going to be cooked.
Yeah.
Half the excitement of life is being like, you know, I like cosplaying as bougie for a day. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You get that twice a year. That's a good time. You know, you're like, look at us being all fancy having this dinner and all.
Yeah.
But if that's your everyday life, you get bored of it. And then you're like, where else do I seek serotonin from?
That's it. You think I'm fat now? Give me Bieber money.
Yeah.
I'd be DJ Khaled. That's what I would be.
Yeah.
Just in Miami somewhere in a big garden.
Yeah. Just
Getting excited about his. He's got the chef on deck.
Yeah,
And he'd
that'd
be
be
like,
nice.
beautiful, beautiful lunch today. He had a soft shell crab sandwich, and I was like, man, that looks like a fucking something from a nightmare you'd have.
Yeah.
I went to bite my ham sandwich, turned into a crab.
Yeah. Personal chef would be nice now.
I don't lose weight because I never lose. Quote of the century,
Yeah.
that. Unbelievable. I watched 2 very harrowing documentaries last night.
Oh, God, Colin. You're back at it.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Now that we've had our fun, let's get into the documentaries I watched last night. I guess what this, by the title, what this documentary is about. It was called The Eunuch take 2. Cut that out. The Eunuch Maker.
I have no idea.
A eunuch is a man who has had his genitals removed. Guess what this documentary is about?
Is it about someone who facilitates in surgeries where they're removing someone's genitals?
10 points down. I put it on for a goof. Bro, couldn't sleep.
This happens to you all the time.
I put it on for the crack. I was like, this will be funny. And there's wee bits of, by the way, do you know Louis Theroux has a brother?
Oh, does he?
I think his name, he must be, well, his name's Marcel Theroux, and he fucking looks and sounds like him. Must be. He's like, I'm investigating this particular man. And they were like, we're delving into the world of, personal surgeries and body modification and who actually has the right to alter their body, who really owns their body. This guy, who obviously, he was like a closeted gay guy when he lived in Norway, moved to the UK, fucking got into all this like almost like dark web streaming type shit, cock torture. And everyone in the documentary's got the fucking monster voice, like anonymous monster voice. And they were, they found one guy, they were interviewing him. He's like, yeah, when I first met him, I thought it was a bit, he was showing me photographs of cock torture, and he kept saying to me, I'm gonna torture your cock, and I didn't want my cock tortured. And he kept saying things like, I'll have it off one day, right? But then, now this, again, I put it on. I'm like, worried, this'll be some crack here. And then it slowly gets into like, somebody was like, something horrible happened to them when they were younger, and they're like disassociated with their genitals. They're like, this has caused me nothing but trouble. I need it off. And you can't obviously go somewhere and be like, you can't go to the doctors and be like, I'd love rid of the albolics there. Because the doctor's going to be like, I'm not doing that. So they found this guy who basically was like, oh, I'll do it, no sweat. I'm big into it, in fact. And these people would literally go and get like illegal surgeries where they just get their fucking dick and balls cut off. And then he'd live stream it, and the guy's making like fucking hundreds of thousands of pounds.
He was streaming the surgeries?
He was like, listen, I'll do it for you, but your face won't be in it, but I will have a camera on your dick and balls, and I'll stream it, and boys will pay to watch it. Apparently people are big into it.
Man, can you not just watch Parks and Recs or something like this?
No. There's just no shit.
Why?
What am I going to learn from that? You tell me you just skip
As
past
opposed to the
Eunuch?
educational trip that is the Eunuch maker?
Yeah. But they had a good thumbnail and all, you know what I mean? It looked like a good thing. I was like, oh, this will be good. And it was kind of dark and exciting for a minute, and then after that it was just really sad.
So how did it end up for him?
Oh, jail.
Yes.
Because they're basically like, yeah, you can't be just performing procedures like that.
Who did this documentary?
Marcel Theroux.
What'd you watch it on?
Paramount or something.
Right. There you go.
Unbelievable.
If you want to struggle to sleep tonight.
But one of the voiceovers, I had that. Now this is what did make me laugh. But the guy was like, this guy was just, it's some sort of body dysmorphia. Mm-hmm. Is that the word? And he's basically just like, I just hate my bollocks.
That's so funny.
That's all. He was just like, he goes, I don't want my genitals, like I don't want to be trans, or I don't want to be whatever. I'm not like, there's some non-binary people who were like, I just don't want genitals at all. I just want a piss hole, which is crazy. But this guy was just like, man, I just fucking straight up hate my ball back.
It is very funny to be insecure about your ball back.
Not even insecure, because you know what I mean? I wouldn't want mine on the front of the paper, but to actually just be like, I just never felt at one with my bollocks. Like I just wanted them.
Nobody does.
And then they go to this fucking. He goes and gets it. He's like, yeah, we went with the monster voice. Like we went in and we had, a couple of beers, and I was worried that he'd put something in the beer, and then we sat down, and the guy has this machine that like, it's like a wee claw like this, and it's got like a wee rubber band. I think it's for doing like a dog's tail or like a sheep's tail, like that fucking docking thing. It opens this band, and then you fucking clamps down and something.
Oh god.
So it's like a rubber band. So he's like, he put the band around, and I did laugh at this, but he goes, so he proceeded to, and the guy he put an incision in the side of the scrotum and removed the testicle and cut it off with like bolt cutter, like a fucking like the fucking thing about that size, like you break a lock with. And he's like, he took that out, and then he goes, and I did, I knew that I was going to experience some sort of pain, but I never thought it would be this painful. And you're like, what, getting your bollocks chopped off with the fucking bolt cutters?
In some guy's basement?
In some guy's, and he goes, he's like, it was as clean and sterile as a hotel room could be. And Maureen just in the middle of it was like, yeah, I'm going to go and get ready for bed now. And then I thought I'll take the sting off this horrible documentary, and I'll hear from the other Theroux brother, and I'll put on the fucking Louis Theroux and Gaza documentary,
Jesus,
and then
man.
it just went fucking.
I love how you're like, I can't go to bed in this.
I can't go to, no, it's like watching something a wee bit lighthearted before I go to bed. He's like, so you can't leave Gaza, is that right? And he goes, we are trapped here forever. And I'm like, all right, well, you know,
Time for bed.
time for bed. Went to bed, watched Sopranos.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Now we're talking. But Jesus Christ,
Nothing will take me out of a documentary like Monster Voice. You know, it always makes me giggle.
I know.
Like when it's a shadow and Monster Voice.
They might. They. I don't even know why they do it. Like the guy might as well go like, we met someone and he was anonymous, so this is what he said, and just fucking read it off a book.
Yeah. But instead it's like, I met the royal.
Yeah.
I never thought getting my bollocks cut off would be this painful, but Jesus Christ, worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, it would be funny if they were speaking as flippantly as that with the Monster Voice on.
Yeah.
And he just took into my ball bag with a nail file.
But some of the guys, some of the guys who were like really desperate for the surgery, the guy that hated his ball bag, for talk's sake.
I can't stop laughing.
The guy who hated his ball bag, he was like, oh, thank God this guy exists. Because no one would do this for me.
Well, of course.
And he's like, this guy's fucking godsend. Now I'm just walking around with just the pipe and no balls. And then other people were like, yeah, I thought it was just a bit of crack. And then I got the dick and balls cut off. And they're like, yeah, this guy's just a butcher.
Is there a single man that's ever existed on Earth that has looked at his own ball bag and went, that's a bit of me, that?
I mean, even from a design point of view, you're like, tuck them in.
Yeah.
Get them out of the road. Like,
You'd like yours higher?
out of sight. You're like, why
Yeah.
can't it just be sort of inside you like a kidney?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I know
yeah.
I know they drop outside for a bit of temperature control, but you're like, get it.
But then maybe, we're
Here's
just...
my two. If I'm fixing the body, the human body,
Yeah.
no nerves in your teeth.
I agree, yeah.
Don't need them.
Yeah.
Your eye should be hard like a snake. A snake has like a wee plastic bead.
Yeah.
That's what you need for your eyeball.
But then you need them like that so they can moisturize,
Yeah, but fuck the moisture.
But you need that.
Just a glass lens. You can lick it and just. You can clean your eye with your t-shirt.
right? So hard eyes,
Yeah. Hard eyes, no nerves in your teeth.
no nerves and teeth. I agree with that one.
Bollocks inside you. Just the dick hanging out.
Now, where do we put it? Do we put the bollocks in the gunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the balls are in the gunt.
They're out of sight. They're buried.
But
They're
you
smooth.
could probably connect them in the same way to the penis if the balls are in the gunt.
Aye, they're close by, but they're not.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is to avoid the sweaty scrotum,
Yeah.
the dangling, bash it off the corner of the chair scrotum.
Yes.
Get it in you. Get it inside.
Just dick though would look funny. Like it would look funny. Like
Yeah, but we're talking in evolution terms, no one has the bollocks out.
Yes.
So you get used to the dick hanging out.
that's what I'm saying. Like if it was just that way from day dot,
Yes.
it probably wouldn't be as funny. But like if we just as human beings
Just-
went from right, we're putting the balls in the gunt now.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we all just had just loose cock. That'd be so funny.
It would be so funny.
I mean, it'd be nice to never have to worry about sitting on them again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or hitting them, or do you ever see, everyone's like, oh, thank God, bit of sunshine, and you're like, fucking bad day to be a ball bag around here,
Yeah.
and that's my bodily improvements. I mean, it wouldn't look any crazier than the glass eye if no one needed to blink anymore. You're just like,
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
no,
happening?
blinking's good.
and then the
think we
fourth
should keep
one,
blinking.
no toenails.
Oh. About fucking time. Sorry. What's that? Yeah, no toenails.
Yeah, but check out the Eunuch maker. It's good stuff. I do that all the time, bro. So click on a thing, and then 10 minutes into it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna fucking give me PTSD.
Well, yeah, you will watch things like ironically to be like, this is a funny thing, and then you're locked
yeah,
in.
but you're the same way you're like a wee experience junkie.
Yeah.
I maybe can't access that
Yeah.
because I've had to put my child to bed. So that's how I express it now.
Yeah.
That's my magic show.
Yeah.
Puff, gone are the balls. Now you see them, now you don't.
I know you make fun of me for going to a wrestling show, being like, oh, fuck, you're winning. Meanwhile, you're sitting down watching a documentary about a guy who's sawing off ball bags. Like, we're the same type of crazy.
And then I'll be like, bro, you don't know what to be at.
The nerve of you, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to recreate the chaos in my own house with a bowl of fucking pistachios sitting there. Fairly put me off the pistachios anyway. I'll tell you that. Spat it back out into my hand.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
That's brilliant now.
oh God.
I just love hearing the updates of what you've been consuming media-wise.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's all I have. That's all I have. It's either I've been to Lavery's or I fucking...
I mean, we've done that a few times. Like, we've had like a late night tea in the house or something.
Aye.
And we're like, we'll just watch this documentary here about cam girls for the crack. And then
Yeah.
there's something about those documentaries where they will bring you in with how ludicrous the synopsis is of the show. And then you're watching it and you're like, we'll probably just watch this for 5 minutes just to see how stupid it looks. And then they just reel you in, you know?
But that was Channel 4 forever. Like,
Oh, yeah. Right.
remember the documentary with the guy with a cock on his arm?
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, fucking right, did they? You ever see that?
I think I did. Yeah.
Brilliant.
The guy had like a horrible accident or something, and they needed to just like keep the cock, like keep a bit of blood going to the cock, and
Yeah.
they're just like stitching on his arm. And the guy, I mean, it was like, you're like, how much time did you have to make this decision? Because you could have put it anywhere.
Yeah.
You could have put it fucking anywhere. And the guy just looks like he has like 4 fingers, a thumb, and then another thumb, but it's actually a cock.
Be tough for him to get a massage.
Oh, yeah. High five. You dap him up and he squirts in your... What's happening, bro? Oh.
Just flashing from a jacket, you know?
I tell you, talking about cooked algos, I've seen a lot of videos of just monkeys wanking recently. I saw a video of this gorilla just walking along, just, you know, doing that like walk. And like, said in the morning, he was like, there's me, the second you leave the house.
But you know what I think that is? Because I was
I
thinking
just,
about
there you go,
that.
sat my bollocks, get them off. Eunuch maker near me.
I'm
Near
also
me.
getting a lot of wanking monkeys, and I think what it is,
Yep.
it started off of that thing of, you know, that meme that's going about right now against 100 men versus one gorilla.
Yeah.
And I think I have consumed enough of those videos, like memes about it,
Yeah.
that it's funneled all the way down to just general gorilla activity, and then found its way into just gorillas having a wank.
Yeah. Crazy, like.
Mental.
And you're like, is that legal?
Gorillas wanking?
I mean, like, you can't say certain words on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, unalived and fucking
Yeah.
all this shit. Such and such charge for grape.
Yeah.
You know,
But you can show a gorilla.
But here's
just
a gorilla.
throwing one out.
pulling the wee tiny wire of himself.
Yeah.
That's a shame, too.
I know.
It's a shame that they give him the wee fucking
Yeah.
pepperami when he's so big and muscular. And he's got the wee knick-knack.
Yeah.
You'd like to think if you're a gorilla, you just have a big fucking black hog.
Yeah. Yeah, wee monkey choke.
Saggy ass and a monkey choke.
Oh, yeah. I do have the arse of a gorilla.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
Do they not have the big pink sagger, no?
Yeah, well... Snap.
Here we go. Gorilla's ass. Let's go for it. Gorilla.
Or maybe I've mistaken it for a chimpanzee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's me, like.
I did take my camera to jiu-jitsu one day to just be like, I'm going to record this, you know, and then record something in a year, see if I've made any progress.
Yeah.
And that is what my ass looked like.
It's me too, bro. Same slit design, everything.
Slit design. Oh, Jesus. That is me whenever I tell Maureen, like, I'll be back in a second, and I just go down to the spare room to fucking...
That's you in your bed browsing.
Yeah. That's me watching fucking Eunuch Maker. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So funny.
There's me having a nap.
That's me.
Look at the fucking ass.
On the side too, eh? Amazing.
What is this part? On the side, on the side. That's the t-shirt there. Get that, mate. Just that exact image. And then just on your side. Always on your side. Bomb Squad Pod.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah, like the exact same spec in the whole, like, mental.
hairy cheeks?
No.
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 Bald, sticky cheeks?
Yeah. I could do with a coat of that for the winter. But no, they're just a wee hairless arse.
I think maybe if you just, you know the way people get like gorilla suits? I think if you just put like hair on me.
Yeah.
Directly on me.
Yeah.
And I just floated about like there's me having a shite. Exactly that. You know what I mean?
They're so yoked. Like.
They are. And they just fucking sit around all day and eat bananas, and then they're just still giving you the sneaky look back and all. Sexy bastards.
They are funny to look at.
Unbelievable.
But now, New York was good times. It was good having you boys out. A lot of pints consumed.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was going to be as much of a drinking extravaganza as it was, to be honest.
Yeah, the rain had a lot to do with that, I think.
Yeah.
I think, when it started to rain, you'd be like, there's not much else to be at here.
Yeah. Well, that first night we went to that Treadwell Park place.
Yeah.
We were all sitting on the park benches. Fucking Grace came down with her sister. And if anybody will come on like a tornado and turn what you think will be a couple of civil pints into just getting completely wrecked, it's her.
Yeah, she was just like, get me something with a sparkler in it now.
Yeah.
Liven these fucking boring up. I had one of those moments where, who was I talking to? It might have been one of the boys who, they're from here, but they like live in New York. And I was like, oh, right, last night or the night before, whatever. And he's like, oh, where were you? And I said the name of that place. I was like, what was it, like Treadmill or something? Or Treadwell? And then the guy was like, oh, no, that's fucking terrible. And I'm like, oh, I don't live here.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck I am. Okay?
Yeah, but also their version of a good night is probably a lot more different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even openly take cat at the table there.
Yeah.
Dump.
Yeah.
Fucking dump, lad. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, have we any news to go over before we get out of here? What about that? Gonna wander into them woods? Suicide investigator. Oh, she was one of the ones got interviewed after the Epstein fucking scandal.
Oh, yes.
And she was like, I was employed by him and fucking,
Was that the massage therapist?
made to work as a massage therapist, and he had his cock like an egg and all this hair.
Yeah.
Bro, she fucking, and she was tweeting and all, be like, I am in no way suicidal, and then apparently took her own life.
Seen that? Told the families, told doctors, no way suicidal, and then she's gone. Yeah. Well,
Clinton's at it again.
Yeah. Talking about the cock egg was sly. Or the eggy cock.
Egg-shaped cock.
Egg-shaped cock.
Nah.
How does that even work? You must have some bulb in you for it to look like an egg.
Yeah, just a wee chode.
Fat?
Wee Epstein chode.
Yeah. Well, only a man with a chode would go to that extreme to make a, fuck island like that,
Yeah, and put people in a position where they can't say anything.
Yearning for something.
But it is interesting to hear about, because what they do is, there's obviously, they couldn't do anything in the middle of that scandal, when it was all over Netflix and all over news and everything. They just give it 2 or 3 years, just silently knock her off in the corner. Everyone just moves on.
Scary Beckies.
Keep your head down.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Just go and see a magician, have a few pints. Don't be being a billionaire. And
Stay away from the elites.
Get away. The elites.
And probably shy crack anyway.
No doubt.
I'd say the conversations that were happening on that island and the banter would have been minus. If I had to say. I'd say they just wouldn't know how to have a good
They
time.
should just cut you into the middle of one of those documentaries.
Yeah.
When everyone's telling these horror stories and you're like, and another thing, the banter's shite.
Severe lack of yarns.
Oh my God. It's all fucking bells and whistles.
Yeah.
All the food, all the women, whatever. But
The best banter was the personal chef.
yeah, the taxi, or the fucking pilot on the way over. Some crack.
The taxi to Epstein's.
Getting the Uber to Epstein's.
Oh, fuck.
Dairy me. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, do you want to hear something creepy?
No.
You love this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You love the creepy stuff.
I do.
So,
We need do we have haunting music still?
Yeah, we should do, yeah.
oh, there we go.
There we go.
So, this isn't quite haunting just yet.
Tick-tock.
I want to give a bit of context. Liam's mother had me around to the house for Easter dinner. Lovely.
Who?
Liam's mother. Liam's mother. Lovely time.
Liam's a lovely guy.
He's a great guy. Big fan of him. And
Just a dote.
so went over to the mother's house for Easter dinner. chatting away to all his cousins. It was weird to be in New York and be in someone's actual home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because usually you're over at like your mates' apartments and they're fucking, everyone's just getting by. Everyone's living check to check. And so, you know, everyone's got like 5 housemates or they live in a cupboard.
Yeah.
So to be in like someone's actual family home,
Yes.
where, you know, you felt like it was a home, it was very nice. Anyhow, chatting away to all the cousins, whatever. One of them was telling me, because I was saying about getting Uber shares or whatever, and she was saying she had to stop getting them because one time she got an Uber share, right? Hot music coming in here. She got an Uber share, gets into the Uber. There's another 2 guys in the Uber. She's a very friendly, personable person. So she gets in the Uber, she says hi to them. They say nothing, right? Uber drops her off at her house,
Yeah.
right? She's the first one to get left off. The other 2 fellas stay there. A week and a bit later, she gets a letter through her letterbox from one of the guys that was in the Uber. And he said, you know, all this shit like, oh, you know, he's like, you know, I was too nervous to say something at the time, but you're one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. And, you know, I would love to take you out for drinks or, and he's like, I know this is mad, you know, but I've never felt the need to do this before.
A letter.
A fucking letter. Handwritten. How down bad do you have to be?
I mean, there might be like, you know, a once in a lifetime where you're that taken aback. But it's hard to know, like, you know.
But even then, you just let it go. You know, you don't follow up.
Oh yeah, like I mean, yeah, you can walk around anywhere, like in New York, and just be like, oh my god, oh Jesus Christ, oh
Yeah.
fucking hell. What level would it have to be at? Where you just be like, I've written you a letter.
I would never. I don't think I would ever be able to do that.
Would it have been worse if it was typed out?
No, I think handwritten's worse.
Think so?
Well, actually, no, because then you have to get a printer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing worse than a creep with a printer.
Yeah.
And then, but I
a
think
functioning printer.
handwritten is like more effort though, and it looks creepier because you get to see their handwriting and all, and it's a bit more intimate.
Don't know. But then also you get into, you know, like a taxi at night, I presume, and you're like sharing it. You know, where's the guy sit? You know, did she get in? He's like, is he in the front seat and she's in the back and he's just like, oh my god, look at her.
This is another thing.
Oh my god.
They're in the back and she's in the front.
Uh-huh.
So like, you know, presumably they might have seen a little bit of side face, but mainly back of the head.
And then also, you know, just waiting around till she like actually goes in the house, taking the number of the street.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And look at me, like, lovely looking girl, you know, but I don't know if the back of her head would have me write a letter. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what he's into.
Back of the head?
Nah, he's gonna cut it off, put it on his wall.
Oh God.
Somebody actually sent me this thing, and they were like, oh, it was on the Patreon, wasn't it? Oh, they were basically like, what were you talking about making? I forget now, but they were like, if you think that's bad, check out. Have you ever seen that? Ed Gein's furniture.
No.
Well, I'll put this in. I don't even know if we can show that. It's gross. What were we talking about that was like related to? This motherfucker.
Some sort of
This guy's doing like fucking first year foundation art, sculpture.
Zoom in there, please.
With body. That's people's faces, no? The guy's doing upholstery with fucking skin.
Who's your clientele? Fucking Marlon Manson?
Yeah. One of the Mansons. That's not bad. I would take that.
No, it's still very harrowing.
Yeah. I'll watch a documentary about that tonight if I can't sleep.
There's not a room in my house you could put that in. No. That would ruin the kitchen.
Yeah. Your man, I'm tripping over this fucking pelvis lump all day. Get out of my fucking sight. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, well, we get out of here, won't we?
Is that us? Oh, fucking hell. Jesus, that flew by.
Do you know this guy?
That was legitness.
No.
Yeah! That was
Oh, yeah.
legitness.
Watch. The motherfucker's like 40 now.
That was legitness.
Full circle.
Yeah!
That's mad.
He's a grown man now. Sort of.
Sorry, before we go. I said, my mom goes to me the other day. She goes,
We're just going to skim over this.
oh, sorry, but it just reminded me of something. And you'll see why in a second.
Right.
My mom goes, she goes, have a new show on the go?
Uh-huh.
I was like, what barrel of shit have you fallen into now? Right? Meet the Johnsons. I goes, are they by any chance a family of dwarfs?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That is legitness. At least she has a thing. What was the other one called?
What is?
Big Midgets Wee Town.
Little people, big words.
Little People, Big Word. And now she's like, here's a spin-off. The Johnsons.
Well, I think one of the Johnsons was one of her favourite characters.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously they've done their research and they're like, right, we'll make a spin off of these ones. And she is tapped in.
It's funny that she's like secretly has.
I don't think she would ever get starstruck, ever. My ma.
I like-
She's met some of the biggest country legends of all
I
time.
like Snow White. I like Big People, Little World. Or Little, whatever it is.
I don't think she'd be able to speak if she met Rita Johnson. Don't even know if that's her name.
Posters of Wee Man from Jackass on the wall. I love him. I love him. He's so dinky. Oh, Jesus. Right, we'll get out of here.
Let's do it.
We'll get out of here. Guys! It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a million.
We're taking it very seriously over here. Aaron has a shirt on and everything.
Cheers.
I know. Can you imagine me in that? God.
Thank you.
Dinky. Big person, wee shirt. Right, we're going to get out of here and
110.
chop my bollocks off.
Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thunk? Awesome. Right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Cheers for listening, and make sure to get on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/the Bomb Squad Pod for a variety of things over there.
So much stuff.
Variety of the Ask Me Anythings. Ask Me Anything at all. AMA. New York tapes, of course. Who have you had recently? Katie Boyle.
Last month with Katie Boyle. Yeah.
Katie Boyle. Fucking, they're all over there. And me and McCartney doing, of course, the Bog Squad. Can we have that? I felt like I had to double check it.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. It works out with the branding and everything. It's on brand. With McCartney. And yeah, all that good stuff. So we'll see you over there. Cheers, guys. Cheers for listening.
Blessings to you and your loved ones.
Blessings. Yeah. Season's greetings.
Drop.